So, very good afternoon to one and all present here. On the dais, the Secretary of EIRC, CA Hariram Ji Agarwal, and of course, past Chairman EIRC, my co-speaker, CA Subhash Chandra Saraf, the other speakers who have already spoken, who would be speaking on this very important 7th GCC summit that the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is holding, and of course, to the leaders of the profession, the Central Council members, Regional Council members, who have created this platform where our members can attend this kind of a program and plan to build their capabilities. So, since time is at a very premium, I won't take much of your time, and let me tell you, till yesterday evening I was only a moderator of this session where there would have been other panelists, but things changed. And now I'll be speaking about the concept of what is there, how you can grow in this model. And of course, Subhash ji will then speak about the practical challenges and the practical things, as he has served as a chairman of one of the largest networks of CA firms in India. So that is how it will be. So friends, do you all agree that to grow in today's era, we need to collaborate? So let us make this session interactive. Just let me know if you are saying yes or no, so a louder voice. Yes. So we need to collaborate. Now the question is, there is a code of ethics of the institute. Whenever we think of the code of ethics of the institute as a professional, we start feeling that probably the code of ethics for practitioners is there so that we cannot practice. The code of ethics for practitioners is there so that we cannot practice. Whenever you will go through the code of ethics, you will get such a feeling. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. So now the question is, how do I collaborate? The institute says, of course, there could be chartered accountancy firms. So there are CA firms which are partnership in nature, right? There are around 1 lakh firms in India, out of which 72,000 are proprietorship. Out of 1 lakh practicing CA firms in India, 72,000 are proprietorship. And there are around 1,60,000 chartered accountants in practice. So out of that, 72,000 are proprietorship, other 80 to 90,000 are in around 10,000 firms or a little more. But now we are talking about something more. We are talking about networking. When I speak of networking, I will not only stick to networking. There are other models of the institute too in place which you can use to grow. I think I need not explain to you why you need to collaborate, because at the very beginning you yourself said yes. When I asked whether we need to collaborate or not to grow, you said yes. Now, again a question comes. I can obviously bring another partner who is specialized into a different sector. I can build my capabilities, right? We all know about the Satyam story. See, I am not going to code of ethics now. I am talking about something else. Take Mahindra. We know how Take Mahindra was ultimately born, right? It was a merger of the erstwhile Satyam and the Take wing of the Mahindra group. And the current day Take Mahindra is there. Their customer base was different. When Satyam's shares came down, Take Mahindra found an opportunity. It bought 41% of the shares of that company because it started planning for a merger so that they could create more stakeholders' value. Similarly, obviously you can grow by adding partners, but when you are getting a ready-made firm which has a diversity that you do not have, they are also willing to grow, where there is a scope to collaborate and of course increase the value. Obviously there will be cross references within the two firms. You can do something for the clients of that firm and they can do something for your clients. obviously the top line will increase, and of course the bottom line. And that is not only the end. There could be cost sharing, there will be resource sharing, there will be knowledge sharing, there could be infrastructure sharing. Obviously, the reach of the common brand, a new brand that comes into place because of this networking, the reach will be over a huge geography, because probably you are coming into a network with a firm in Mumbai. So maybe they are working in the western part of the country and you are working in the eastern part of the country. Suddenly you have a reach in the western part and they have a reach in the eastern part. When 5 such firms come together from different regions, suddenly you have a pan-India presence. That is why it is so important. Now, let's move and understand why or how. I have already spoken about this. See, only 2.1% of firms are 6+ partners. Out of the number of firms present in India, only 2.2% of them have 6 or more partners. This networking is nothing new. Mergers, demergers of CA firms and the networking guidelines came in 2005. So it's nothing new. It's 21 years old now. But today, only around 130 firms, there are 130 networks in India. 21 years and only 130 networks in India for CA firms. And we are still, many of us are not aware that there is a possibility of coming into networking, which the institute allows. Something interesting happened. So we also talk about the Big Four, right? See, the Big Four had a big network. It was there. Its presence is in the foreign. Its subsidiaries, sort of subsidiaries, not real subsidiaries, the chartered accountancy firms in India who are operating under that banner. We often forget their original names. We only take that foreign name for them. They are operating. So in 2018, a very important court case was there, Supreme Court. This gentleman, A. Sukumar, he took the institute to the court and he raised this question that multinational accounting firms, MAFs, how they are operating in India. While the code of ethics does not permit many things, how are they violating that? How are these Indian firms sharing their profits with someone else outside the country? They cannot even do it, a non-chartered accountant, and they are sharing it with some other brand. So these things were brought into the court, and of course there was a violation of section 144. The consultancy wings are giving certain services. On the other hand, the Indian chartered accountancy firms are doing the audit services. Whether that is allowed. So it also paved the way for the NFRA. That's why you will see that the NFRA is always talking about the non-audit services and the audit services, whether a firm can provide both these services or not. Of course, after that the institute also took up this matter importantly, and now the last year institute published a draft for the international networking. So how can Indian CA firms also come into a network with international firms? You cannot still share fees, but of course you can share the cost, you can share resources, knowledge, and so much more. But of course this was also passed in the council on 12th of December, but still now the final guidelines are not there for international networking. Of course, it should come any time, and we all must be prepared for that. Another important thing also happened in the last year in February. So I'll also come to that. Let us move one by one. From this slide, I'll take this. So when we talk about merger and demerger, so demerger can happen only after a merger. So in the concept of merger, the institute allows that 2 firms can come together and get merged into one firm. Sorry. It can be a new firm, it can be one of the old firms, and let me tell you, the institute always also allows the merged firm to carry on the seniority. Whichever firm is older, it allows to carry forward the seniority of the firm. How does that help? Those of you who are more interested toward audit and assurance and also looking forward to CAG works. So obviously a merged firm is recognized by the CAG. But certain things are given value only after 5 years of merger. So the point is, only to take an opportunity you merge, take that opportunity and you get demerged, that is not allowed. Because the institute allows you to get demerged within 5 years. After 5 years, you cannot get demerged. That is why the CAG says, I will not carry all the points up to 5 years. Once the merger is complete in 5 years, I will give you all the points. But of course, the number of partners increase, their points are counted, only the effect of merger. So a partner who joined the original firm from 1980, but now got merged into this firm, will not get that points from 1980. But after 5 years, suddenly he will get the whole point from 1980. So this way there is a ranking system which affects. Domestic networking and international networking. So in the networking model, what happens? As I said, the international networking guidelines are not out fully, but you can still check the draft that is there, which was published in June 25. The domestic networking allows 3 models of networking, where 3 firms, say 2, 3, 4 firms come together and form a new brand. It is called an alliance or a network. And again, a name approval has to be taken, and it's and affiliates. You do not write and associates or company there. There are certain other norms for that. But now this, you can use the network brand in your letterhead stationaries. And of course, the firm names, the other firm names also can be printed on that letterhead and all. So you can start branding yourself in the name of that network. But the good part is, you are still independent. You can still work as an independent firm. It's not that you only have to work in the name of that network. If you want, you can work in the name of the network. That is also allowed. However, only one thing is that at a time, a firm can be a partner of only one network. Entering into network with different models is not allowed, only one at a time. Now, this one is very interesting for me, and this is new. Many of us do not know this, but interestingly, if you see the CAG ranking system that they have brought this time, you will find written everywhere parent LLP, parent LLP, parent LLP, and you must be thinking, what is this parent LLP? It is because of this aggregation model under which till date no firm is registered. Because there is a fallacy in the system also. And the institute already took it to the CAG has already included it. And the institute is not even ready with the SSP portal, where this one would come into this model. But this is a very interesting model to grow very fast. This is something between a network and a merger. How does this work? First of all, you should be a LLP, not a CA partnership firm, a LLP. Now, the institute says 10 LLPs can come together and form a new LLP registered with the institute, where all these LLPs will be partners. That means till today we knew that only chartered accountants can be partners in a CA firm, in a LLP, CA LLP. But now another CA LLP can also be a partner of a CA LLP. So in place of a merger or a network which does not give you that much of flexibility, you get an option that those 5 firms from different regions, you come together. One of these 5 firms can also become the parent LLP, or maybe you together form another parent LLP, and suddenly the institute starts recognizing you. The CAG already has included the point system for you, and of course you can brand yourself to the non-government sectors also. Now there is a challenge in that. It says, we all know section 144 of the Companies Act, which says majority of the partners have to be chartered accountants to become an auditor of a company. The challenge that the institute faced while bringing this guideline is that now the institute had to write, even that parent LLP will have to have majority of chartered accountants. So maybe say there are 5 firms, 10 partners each. We come together, form a parent LLP. If we 5 were there, it should have been enough. अच्छा चलो LLP Act में बोलता है कि minimum 2 individual होना चाहिए, resident individual. Okay, fine. 2 of us will become partners. Now it says, because of the majority rule, that since 5 partners have come together, at least 6 chartered accountants should be there. And their profit sharing ratio should be more majority. So if 6 of them will hold 51% in the parent LLP, the other firms can only hold 49%, even if equal it would be 9.8, and for 10 of the partners it would be 0.98. So again there is a challenge, but this can be mathematically worked out. So what is important is that since CA Sanjeev ji is here, I would request that the council should represent to the ministry that section 144 should be amended, and it should now allow a CA firm where other CA firms are partners and indirectly more than 50% are holding the majority. So the problem is solved. So I think this single amendment can create a huge opportunity for Indian firms in this model. Yes, Gagan, you have a question? But then, if only any of them do, then they are not getting that credit, na? Then you are fine now. वो तो आप आज भी कर रहे हो. वो audit तो आज आप भी कर रहे हो. Now problem is that the purpose behind this aggregation model is what? If you are into non-assurance, who is stopping you? Even if you do not have a COP, you are not appearing in front of ITAT or any position. Without having COP, you open a private limited company, you do anything you want. No one is stopping you. But this model is there because the government said that we need Indian brands, we need Indian big fours. So the institute came with this model so that quickly there could be a consolidation of Indian firms and there could be Indian bigger firms. Obviously, I think while I was speaking, I have covered most of the things which is the reason why one should think of these models for growing the practice. Only one thing that I thought I should mention, that is, why are we talking about this in a GCC conference? The question is of global capability centers. And the institute is coming with international networking guidelines. Think of a accountancy firm in England which has a huge base of customers, but they are facing problem because there is a dearth of accountants and they are not getting good quality resources, which they can easily get from India at a lower cost, and at the same time, it is not going to outsource it to anyone. It can come to a formal agreement through the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So that bridge builds a trust between these two firms. कि अरे ये उल्टो ये गलत काम नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि he is registered with the institute, I am registered with my institute, and these institutes also have a collaboration, and I am going to collaborate with this accountancy firm. When we are talking about that private limited company, the only challenge was this, the trust, the global trust. When you come as ABC and Limited Consulting, so who are you? Acha, you are accountancy, you are that. And when you are a chartered accountancy firm registered with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, my confidence goes up. So this is the plot, and now I'll leave it up to Subhash sir, who can now talk about, Devayan, tu to theoretical onek kichu bole dili, but practically these are the things that the networks are facing, and I'm sure with the experience he has and being a partner in a network firm, he will be adding more value to this session. So over to Subhash sir.
Thank you,
We will take
Devan
up the
sir.
questions at the end.
Thank you, Devan, for giving a brief introduction of this, along with all inputs, and open the level field to play for Subhash ji. A big round of applause for thanks for Devayan, and welcome CA Subhash ji.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Am I audible? Thank you, Devayan, for introduction. Hariramji for introduction. Our Central Council member Sanjeev Sanghi, Mr. Ravi Patra spoke in the morning. I think he is not here. With our past chairman Devayan Patra, and I don't know any other council member, but Mayur Agarwal was here, council member, and Biswa Ranjan Sutar was here. So thank you so much for providing this opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Sutar, for bringing me here also, and Sanjeev too. Friends, I am not prepared for this topic at all. Devayan has said, कैसे शादी होना चाहिए, शादी क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए, डाइवोर्स कैसे होना चाहिए, शादी करने के लिए क्या फॉर्म भरना चाहिए, रजिस्ट्रेशन कहाँ होना चाहिए, डाइवोर्स होने के लिए कौन सा फॉर्म भरना चाहिए, डाइवोर्स के बाद फिर ज्वाइन करना तो कैसे होना चाहिए, एक बार शादी हो गया तो मल्टीपल शादी कैसे कर सकते हैं, मोर नंबर ऑफ LLPs, तो उसमें ग्रैंड फादरिंग शादी हो गया, उसके बाद 1 2 3 4 शादी हो गया. बट मेरे को एक बात समझ में नहीं आ रही कि यदि ग्लोबल कैपेबिलिटी सेंटर बनाना है, is it not necessary that first Indian capability center be created? I think I will have so many questions and requests to Mr. Sanjeev Sanghi, since he's going to be in council for next 3 more years and maybe many more years. I am part of this institute. I had been past chairman. I have lived my life, 41st year I am in practice, and I made my life with this institute and with earning and with this qualification. So nothing to crib about institute. But I think the time has changed when marriages are not happening by looking at the families. ये संस्कार अच्छे हैं, भैया शादी कर दो. लड़के लड़की बिना देखे शादी कर दो, लड़की अच्छे घर की है शादी कर दो, लड़का अच्छा घर का है शादी कर दो. लड़का लड़की को नहीं देखता था, लड़की लड़के को नहीं देखती थी, till the time they came together. The time is when there is a live-in relationship. The time is when the marriage has to happen with the meeting of minds, not meeting of mind and heart both. The networking guidelines by the institute are very valuable from 2005 to 11 to again 21, and they are again under consideration for next mature level. While international guidelines have come in, is not yet notified. Of course, they have been passed by the council, as Devayan said. I have not gone through that. The draft I went through and I made my comments on that. But tell me, will our children, chunki my children are already married, or many of whose brothers sisters must be married, can they marry each other if you tell, hey, Mr. Senior, me khub bhalo ache tu ki biye kore nei. Hey, Sanjeev Sangir bhai khub bhalo ache tu ki biye kore nei. Hey, Kamal Sardar kakar chele khub bhalo ache, khub poysha ache biye kore nei. এই বিয়েটা হয় না। That whatever the guidelines are there, the first, my comment is, there should not be any demerger guideline. I may be wrong, and I prove to be wrong. If the starting point is 5 years you have opened in this marriage for divorce, what will you think of, tell me? So the time is presently when you have a good courtship period, you have to have a live-in relationship, you have to understand each other by heart and mind both. If husband and wife cannot sit on a table, have lunch, breakfast, dinner, and they can giggle, laugh, walk together, if the partners are coming together to firms, if they cannot sit on the same office, they cannot be together since morning till evening as their present partners are. If multiple partners coming from multiple places, multiple geography, I mean multiple states, or maybe multiple kind of upbringing, ideologies, practice precedents, different kind of clients, different kind of mindset, different kind of revenue. If they're not able to assimilate their thoughts together by sitting together on lunch, breakfast, dinner, and more on off the office time, because you cannot bring a good relationship and friendship unless you spend more off the office time, off the work time, than more time on the work. And my greatest challenge is, most of the partnerships are happening, maybe networking I'm saying, they're happening for networking for convenience. They're not happening network for purpose. When I started my practice in 1984 until 2000, there was a culture in particularly in this part of India that let's do partnership, let's do joint firms. And many of the large, very good practices form the firm, and none is existing today, only for the purpose to get CAG audit, bank statutory audit, any implement audit, tenders, I mean government tenders, whether there is a minimum guarantee fees or not. Where I remember Coal India is the first company which had the minimum fees of internal audit per month basis. And those, all the convenient partnerships or networking what happened are not existing today. I am the first member, our network is the first network, BATGACH, BATGACH, is the first network firm of the ICAI registered, still continuing. But I can right now say on this platform that still it has not matured. We all 11 firms have not been able to merge our firms till date, despite many attempts. What is holding us? The holding us is our emotions to that name. Our feeling of belongingness कि हमने इसको तैयार किया है, ये हमारा फर्म है. Feeling of uncertainty कि हमारा client कल क्या होगा, कल को यदि सीताराम अग्रवाल और संजीव सांगी और मिस्टर XYZ becomes my partner, तो मेरा secret उनके पास चला जाएगा, तो क्या होगा? Will client remain with me? If he is more intelligent than me, or if he has a more better marketing capability, will he take my client? I also have a doubt कि मेरा client उनके पास जाएगा, उनका client मेरे पास आएगा. Till the time this uncertainty is not removed from the mind, the first question thereby asked, do we need collaboration? Then the first question should be answered by each of us in their heart. Why are we doing what are we doing? Why are we doing what are we doing? If this question is not answered clearly within your mind with yourself, no guideline is going to succeed, ever. I'm not saying only for network, for anything you do. Why I am doing this client's work? Why? It's only for money? Is only that I am capable? Is only that I am the only person to do this client's work? Or does it give me satisfaction? Or does it give me money, satisfaction, and pride, all three? Why are we doing what are we doing? If the networking guidelines has to succeed, out of 131 network, I don't know how much are active, Our network is still having a meeting every quarter. This 21, 22nd, 23rd, again we have an AGM and then a next level thought meeting is there, where we are, all the 20, 22 people will be meeting. But the world has moved beyond this. I think the first networking can only happen when you have a good courtship period. What you want, if you have a capability of internal audit, statutory audit, and do not have tax practice, do you want tax practice? If I'm having a tax practice, say only direct tax practice, do I need to have a GST practice today? If I have a both tax practice, do I need a fraud and forensic audit today? If I have only statutory audit and income tax, do I need internal audit, risk-based audit, fraud and forensic audit, or stock audit? We have to identify that whether my practice is sufficient enough and I'm satisfied to continue with my existing practice, or if not, and if I'm not, you must identify people or friends or firms with whom you can talk heart to heart. If you cannot talk with heart to heart, how your mind will resonate? If your only mind is meeting, कि हमको करना है, but heart is not with him. Partnership is a sacrifice, network is a sacrifice. I'm not talking on limitations. There are so many limitations. जो guideline इन्होंने दिखाई है, इनका PPT आप किताब पढ़ लीजिए. 46 पेज का guideline 2021 का है, और international का I don't remember, but still it is a good one drafted. I'll come to that point where it need to be improved. But again, networking guideline कुछ भी काम का नहीं है यदि हमारा दिल और दिमाग नहीं मिलता है, और दिल दिमाग मिलने के लिए कोर्टशिप पीरियड बहुत जरूरी है, साथ में काम करना जरूरी है, साथ में बैठना उठना जरूरी है, साथ में एक दूसरे को पसंद करना जरूरी है. You have to understand each other's client first. You have to understand for some period. It may be 6 months, it may be 1 year, it may be 2 years, it may be 3 years. Or you have to work with somebody who can complement you and you can complement him. Recently, a merger of the firm has happened recently. Day before yesterday, it was announced in Delhi with my friend's firm, where they did not have a GST practice and direct tax practice. They have taken over the practice. They're working with the firm for last 3 years. And that firm has tech capability, tech capability, 100% tax firm. And they have merged it. So unless those kind of capabilities, suppose you don't have GST, and I know he's my friend, and they were trying to develop GST practice. From all the big fours, they've invited their indirect tax head to bring in at any cost, even 2 to 5 crores per year. Nobody was there. Finally, they had to bring that entire firm, and 6 partners of that firm had joined them, and they have merged. Now the greatest challenge what is coming is, can ये जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट जो 2018 का बताया गया था, जो कि बिग 4 को लेके हुआ था, and we are in the closed door, we can talk very clearly, it is in the public domain. What big 4 were doing, they were doing assurance practice under the local name and consulting practice in the name of their own, in their India company. And that is the most growing concern today. This is the most growing pattern of practice today, where you need to separate assurance practice and the consulting practice. When you go into the network, if you're not able to grow your consulting practice better on the assurance practice, no network is going to be very successful. Because again, there is a limitation in the assurance practice. And even in the assurance practice, say 4 firms are coming together, and they have 4 firms where their audits are there, and there is a good amount of consulting practice. So unless you bring out the consulting practice to a separate entity, either as a LLP or as or in a private limited company or a management consulting company as per institute guideline, those networking are not going to work very successfully. I'm not saying negative, I'm saying these are the only way by which you can create a good networking firm. Where is the challenge? A recent PMO, for last 2 years, PMO office has been trying very hard in line with the 2017 Prime Minister's address in Delhi, where they woke up in sometime in 2023, 22 end, and I think 16 or 18 meetings have been held all over India, including with Dubai chapter and in Dubai, and as well as Singapore probably has happened. And in 6 meetings I was there, where RSS office, it is being driven to RSS office, where in each of the main cities they are going and pitching to the main firms, first 10, 20 firms, that please come together and join as a consulting firm. They are not saying aap networking kariye, aap industrial collaboration kariye, ye kariye. They are saying do with a consulting firm. And in this line, the first alliance of India has happened between Guru Jana Kirtaniya Pandit and Kothari Mehta and Company on 1st of October 2025, based in Bangalore, Delhi and Bombay, where they have come together as an alliance strictly as per ICAI rules, which is under the network guidelines, where the 3 models, alliance, network and lead firm network model. I'm not going into detail, you can see on the medal. And what they have done, they have just created that KGS. You can go and Google the website www.kgs.com. That only government work and tech work. These 2 practices they have carved out from their firms and they have transferred it to the KGS, and they will only focus, and few of the partners have surrendered their COP. They have become their full-timers. They will be in consulting. They will not be on the assurance side, and they will drive this practice entirely. And they have committed a good amount of funds for R&D, infrastructure and everything. Now those kind of networks will work. I'm not saying it is under the networking guideline. So friends, my first and foremost, I can go on. I think there is a limitation of time. The only way to do a successful networking is have a good courtship period, identify who can be your partners, with whom you can work, you can eat, you can play, you can go out, you can have holidays, or have a live-in relationship for some time, not for the entire life. Live-in relationship, not as per male and female relationship, but live-in relationship means with whom you can work day in, day out. When there is a relationship, there is a marriage happens, you must understand. Today the life is a boy and a girl. Earlier life was boy and girl coming together. Whatever mother, father used to say, mother-in-law, father-in-law used to say, they used to work. Girl has to entirely understand the culture of the boy's house, because a boy marries a girl marries the entire family. Present situation is not like that. Because now when boy and girls are marrying, they are not boy and girl, they are men and women. At least 5 to 10 years post-qualification, they have worked in the field, either job or any practice or any profession or business. Then they are coming for the marriage, almost 28, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35. Their mindset is already fixed. If the mindset is fixed, then girl has his own priority, boy has his own priority, maybe men and women has their own priority, and when they are marrying, there is a common priority. If in marriage also, if you do not allow them, okay, my time is my time, 60-70% is my time, 60-70% my time, 20-30% is a common time of family time. If this kind of networking is not happening, where one firm's identity remains, another firm's identity remains, there is a common goal. What is the common goal? Sharing of cost, sharing of talent, sharing of infrastructure, sharing of IT infrastructure, development of SOP, system, processes, practice softwares, marketing. If these are 20-30% are not common, that networking or collaboration or alliance model, it is not going to work. Open for questions.
Special remark by C.S. Sanjeev Sanghi.
Not a special remark, just a big round of applause for Subhash Bhaiya. I think, let me tell you honestly, we have these 7 summits, which this is the 7th summit, and the way he has explained, वो शादी को लेके, वो लड़की को लेके, लड़का को लेके, I think this is a clarity which we all need, Subhash Bhaiya, and we look forward for more sessions from you.
Thank you.
इस बार छोड़ेंगे नहीं आपको.
Thank you.
So once again, thank you so much for being with us.
So a big round of applause for both the speaker and special remark by C.S. Sanjeev Sanghi. But one thing is there. When C.A. Devan was speaking about the proprietorship firm, 72,000 approximate proprietorship firm. So one thing came into my mind that why not succession planning of all those firms? Are they doing succession planning of all these 72,000 proprietorship firm? What's there in their mind that, okay, they will continue till long, how long they will, because life is uncertain. So what will happen after those proprietorship firm? Are they not thinking of that? They must be thinking of that, let the firm go in any way after me. Something must be there. But Subhashji has certainly given a way to that how far that succession can lead to collaboration, and what are the niche points on which collaborations are not getting successful, just like why marriages are not successful. The same way Subhashji has told that why these mergers of firms, collaboration of firms are not successful. But certainly, if there is understanding between the firms, between the partners, and the ultimate goal of all those succession planning of proprietorship after converting into partnership firm or alignment will be certainly successful. So thank you all for being with us in this session. Thank you once again to both the speakers. Thank you. So friends, C.S. Sanjeev is saying that last session of today's summit is most important. तो कृपया बने रहिए हमारे साथ उस पूरे दिन के सारे सार को लास्ट सेशन में सुनने के लिए. थैंक यू.